Welcome to our newly started school for flat earth fanatics. Today's lesson will be about common mistakes they make when trying to prove that the earth is flat with videos with boats. We will use videos of Rantym, Wide Awake, and Rude Earther as examples. We will also give them useful tip on how they can improve. Let's start by watching one of Rude Earther's videos. Well, he states the name, position, and distance of the vessels. Target hidden I return to. Good. He also shows his own position and height. But can we trust the height? The video clearly shows that it is low tide. He states that he has taken his height from a map. The date he filmed this video, the tide ranged between 0.59 and 9.59 meters above mean water. During the day he filmed, the height above sea level varies by 9 meters. If we look at the ship sea truck, the difference in what is hidden is 5.7 meters. If he stands in the same place and shoots both at low and high tide. Here he measures temperature and wind. Temperature is important to know when calculating refraction. However, wind is not needed for that calculation. The strange thing is that he don't use the temperature. All calculations he makes are without refraction. He assumes that we have no atmosphere. For a simpler calculation of refraction, you need to know temperature and air pressure. For a more advanced, humidity is also needed. I have looked at air pressure and humidity for this day where he filmed, and you get close to the truth if you choose the default value for refraction on more advanced curve calculators. If you say that you prove something, then you have to be careful. On the ship we were looking at, 3.1 meters should be hidden if you do not include refraction, and 1.7 if you include refraction. If you look at uncertainty about his height above the sea surface due to the tides, we have a margin of error of 5.7 meters. So with the information he gives us, it is impossible to prove anything. Before you claim things, be sure to have facts. Here, Rude Earther claimed that 9 meters was hidden. If the ship were 12 meters, only 3 would be visible. But in reality it is about 28 meters to the roof of the wheelhouse. This image shows how much that should be hidden if altitude data is correct and refraction. If you want to show how much is hidden or not hidden, then freighters are among the worst motives you can choose. Even though you know the length and height of the ship, you cannot make a safe analysis. Does the ship have cargo or not? On a large ship it makes a big difference in how deep they are in the water. If you want to show how much is hidden or not hidden, then freighters are among the worst motives you can choose. Even though you know the length and height of the ship, you cannot make a safe analysis. Does the ship have cargo or not? On a large ship it makes a big difference in how deep they are in the water. Here are pictures of both vessels' route shows in his video, with and without cargo. If you do not know if they have cargo, you cannot determine how much is hidden of the ship. Now we move on to inferior mirage, a phenomenon that both Rantym and Wide Awake try to use as an explanation for boats and other things disappearing from the bottom up. Let's start by watching a video from Rantym.
I'm filming the turbines today because we have quite a large inferior mirage that's going off when we look at Barrow in Furnace. But I thought this might be a good view to see the inferior mirage and the effects that that has on the water. If you pay attention to the water itself, you'll see that the gap between the sky and the sea, you'll see this, what I would call fake waves. You'll see that the blue, or the darker colour of the sea, is intermittently overlapped by the sky above it, and it causes the wave to appear much higher than the sky as it overlaps it. The waves are dancing, and clearly we know that the body of water is a solid thing, you know, I mean, there's no gaps in the water, so this is an optical effect. You'll see the dancing around of the fake waves. Now all that is that's the inferior mirage, and that's the effect that it has on the water. Nothing to do with Earth curve or anything like that. It's just another very good example of the effects of looking at things over water. Now it's really cold today, it's about 5 degrees actually. It said so in the car on the way down here. But this has been an effect that I've seen in warm weather, cold weather, freezing weather actually. I mean, last year for instance, I came down just before Christmas, it was absolutely bitter. But yeah, this is something that I have talked about in the past, and this is the when you actually see those higher waves, that's actually the real water. That's the real sea. It's beyond where you would think the horizon actually is.
Mirages are created when light passes through air of different temperatures. Two types of mirages are inferior and superior. An inferior mirage occurs when you have a dense layer of cold air sitting on above of your line of sight, with a layer of less dense warmer air below your line of sight. This happens frequently on hot summer days when the sun shines on a black asphalt highway, and the hot ground heats the bottom centimeters of air. When rays of light coming down from the sky get close to the hot air near the ground, the light rays are bent, refracted, back up toward your eyes. A superior mirage is the opposite. A layer of warm air sits above your line of sight with a cool layer beneath it. This is also known as a temperature inversion. Light bends down towards the denser air, but because our eyes assume the light we see travels straight, the object we are seeing appears higher than it actually is. Therefore we see the image, or inversions of it, above where it actually is. If another ship sails away from you, eventually they will disappear below the horizon. However, if conditions create superior mirages, then you can still see the other ship further away from you even though the ship is a short distance below the horizon. Similarly, with the refraction of a superior mirage you can see mountain tops sooner as you sail toward a mountainous island or coastline, even though the mountain top might still be slightly below the geometric horizon. Also, boats on the distant horizon sometimes appear to be floating in the air above the water. A superior mirage can also act like a lens, make objects appear smaller or larger, and closer or further away, than they actually are. It is difficult to determine on Rantym's videos what is mirage and what is due to deficiencies in the camera and to lack of knowledge at Rantym. In Florida there is another flat earth fanatic with his P1000 camera try to prove that the earth is flat. Wide awake. Let's take a look at one of his videos.
Okay, on November 30th, a friend of mine and I went up to these islands and we placed this life preserver on the island of, it's called Sheephead Key. I put that in there. And, you know, the thing was I'm 4.5 miles away, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but still, I'm 4.5 miles away. This is the first island right here, by the way, that's to the right, actually on the east side of the 3 islands that I filmed. And as you watch, I'll scoot across here to the middle island, and that is the island where we placed the life preserver. And you know, I knew it was going to be a small object, and it's really not that reflective. And I was like, you know, really surprised that if I would be able to see this, especially under these circumstances, because the visibility really wasn't very good on December 4th, the day I went up there, went to Pine Island and filmed this.
It is very difficult to determine what is mirage and what is due to the camera and wide awake. Most of his videos hold this poor quality. Both regarding Rantym and wide awake, it is very strange that they always have awkward atmospheric circumstances when making their videos. Rude Earther has the same camera as them and does not have this kind of problem. In addition, he is near Rantym, so they should have similar conditions. If now the sea poses different phenomena, why not choose to film on land? Maybe some mountains or hills at different distances. I will take examples of this in the upcoming Flat Earth lesson. Hope you enjoyed the video.